friendships expire because you become different people. Sometimes you are not as important to your friend as you once was, or vice versa. And this is natural and it's fine. But the reason why I bring up this kind of toxic friendship is, like, we all know the dangers of an obviously toxic person, but this is like an instance of friendship where it kind of just creeps up on you, and they don't really seem like they're toxic or they're bad for you. It's just that you've never checked in over time, and basically the relationship you have has now like become moldy and rotten, and you haven't realized. Like, you're still going to eat this food every single day like you normally do, without really like looking at what is it that you're consuming, like what is this relationship that you're bringing into this life. So I really think that these kind of friendships where over time it's just like broken down, and one of you or both of you just aren't into it as much anymore, like, it's time to just cut them off. Like, someone has to do it, and it's most likely going to be you if you want to make it happen. So other like toxic friendships that I want to bring up that you might have in your life that this year you're going to be like, nope, this is not me. And I think the most important thing about getting rid of this kind of energy and relationship in your life is you're not going to realize this now. There's actually a saying: you will be the average of the 7 closest people that you surround yourself with. And I remember reading this quote in my, I think it was like early to mid 20s. And it seemed like all this like woo woo, airy fairy, like whatever. I didn't really think much of it. But then I was in a place in my life where I really wanted to change. I really want to achieve some big goals. This is where I wrote to myself an empty check for $1 million. And we're going to get into that in another podcast. So I really wanted to do some big things in my life. So I was like, I'm just going to give this a shot. I'm going to surround myself with 7 people that I want to be like, just try it out. Why not? And then as I did that, I discovered my life completely changed. And the beauty of this particular hack of, your friendships and your relationships that you surround yourself with is like, it doesn't feel like it's a lot of effort. Like, changing your habits and your behaviors, it's like a lot of work. It's like 60 to 90 days of like trying to change before it like becomes ingrained in you. We've all tried to change habits and we still have a lot of bad habits. Changing who you're surrounded with, especially who your friends are that you speak to like every single day, is so important. And if you feel like your life is so negative and it's like so hard to get out of bed and you just like have no motivation, the first thing I would look at is, who do you have in your life? Who is sucking this energy away from you? And the answer could be yourself, because you are your own best friend, right? So that could be the first step. But like, who else in your life do you need to evaluate? And also, not only who you need to get rid of, but like, who do you need to add to change the energy in your life? So another type of toxic friend is like the soul sucker. I'm going to call them the soul sucker because all they do is suck your energy. And this is the friend that's constantly calling you up, right? And the thing is with this friend is like, they're gonna seem like such a good friend at first because they're gonna be the one calling you. They're gonna be the one going, hey, what up? Like, what are you doing? Like, let's hang out, right? And so you're like, wow, this person's making so much effort for me. Like, they're such a good friend. They like me so much. They always want to hang out with me. But as you hang out with them, you kind of realize like, oh, all they want to do is talk about themselves. All they want to do is like have you console them about something, some dramatic moment in their life. Like, all they want you to do is like help them with something. Like, when you're hanging out, it's always about them. They don't really care. They don't ask you like, how's your day? How you been? They launch straight into their own problems, their latest relationship issues. Like, oh my gosh, my paws are so big. Like, what should I do about them? So the whole time you're hanging out with them, they're literally just it's just about them. They're just talking about themselves. There's no reciprocation in that friendship. And I don't know if you know, but if you hang around these type of people, when you get home, you are so exhausted and you're so tired from being around, like they're just like sucking your energy for themselves, that you literally like don't have the energy to do anything for yourself, you know. And even when you're about to, like as this relationship develops, when you're about to do something for yourself, they're just gonna call you up and be like, oh hey, like this happened, can you come over and like help me with this, right? No, like we don't have time for that anymore. Like it needs to be like reciprocation here. Like start journaling on people. What I did was I had like a page in my notebook for like good friends, and I would literally list down like all my friends I would talk to on a regular basis, right? And when I did this exercise, it's like I started looking at each of them like from like a bird's eye view. So if you have like a page for each one of your friends, like in a notebook, right, and you start journaling underneath them, you'll soon start to realize which friends like literally just are interested in themselves and just suck all your time away. And when it comes to you having a problem, they're like, oh my God, sorry, I have this thing on, I can't make it, you know, and they're constantly flaking on you, or they change the subject back to themselves. That's when you know you're like, okay, I need to nope out of this relationship real quick because it's really not serving you.